Welcome back. Taking a full look at weather now. Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca. It was nice to see some sunlight out there as we had our dinner break earlier tonight.
It did sneak out a little bit this evening, and it was actually a nice day after some morning showers, but we'll have some rain coming back tonight. It's just not quite here yet for most areas. Let's take a look at the sunset from Salinas tonight. We did squish in a little bit of color, one little brush stroke on the sky painted this evening just to finish off this decent Monday. Our hot spot today was Soledad at 66 degrees. Salinas and Hollister coming in the mid 60s as well. Most of the rest of the bay was in the low 60s. Generally slightly cool for this time of year, given the cool air mass in place and the partly to mostly cloudy skies that we saw today. Right now, temperatures mostly in the 50s as we do have some clouds hanging out still. And we do have a few spots that are in the 40s in the higher terrain, but not going to get too much cooler overnight because the clouds will keep temperatures up. So we'll call it upper 40s to low 50s through the overnight hours. Rain picking up here over the next couple of hours. Not going to be heavy at all tonight, just kind of light on and off as we head through the overnight hours, perhaps even during that morning commute as this kind of broader weather system comes through. Last night we had a cold front. It had more distinctness to it, and then it brought, a period of rain and then kind of went away. Tonight into tomorrow morning, it's much more broad and diffuse, so we're going to see maybe rounds of light showers moving through before all is said and done. Now, behind it, though, we have some drier air moving in, and that drier air is coming to stay for probably a week or so. It's on vacation, wants to come see our beautiful bay. Here is the future track showing the ridge of high pressure building in after our system departs. Now, notice the tightness of these lines from Boise out into the open Pacific here. We see a lot of, well, those lines are pretty close together. That's indicating a high pressure gradient. And while this is technically the pressure gradient at 500 millibars, or, way up in the sky, and actually technically more temperatures. This is geopotential heights at 500 millibars, which means absolutely nothing to you. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is it's going to be windy because everything's close together. And that is how we're going to spend the middle portion of the week as we transition from this kind of more active weather pattern to a blocked up ridge of high pressure. In fact, we're looking at more northeasterly winds as we head into Thursday, which is definitely offshore flow for us. And now while the overall air mass aloft is going to stay a little bit on the cool side, it's actually going to be a slow warm up for us, and we'll see highs above normal through the weekend and probably into early next week. Maybe late next week sometime we see a weather system finally breaking back through, but looks like we'll get at least a good 7 days of dryness in. So tomorrow, after the showers end in the morning, maybe go hit up the car wash. If you've been looking for an extended period of time to keep your car clean, and rain is your enemy at that, well, then you got maybe a week to work with. Future track showing, again, some light showers coming through the overnight hours. This is 6 a.m. still sitting with us as we wake up and head out the door. You're not going to be dealing with downpours, but you might be dealing with some wet roads on the way to work or school. Heading through the rest of the day tomorrow, we'll see most of that precipitation come to an end by around noon, and then skies scatter back out kind of like they did today, and we'll start to see that drier air mass moving in, and it'll be windy at times, and it'll probably be with us for the next week or so. Total precip overnight, I think the model's a little low across Santa Cruz County, but generally for other areas around the bay, I think it's probably on point, so not much expected, but you might get a little more than what you're seeing in Santa Cruz County. Also, winds picking up tomorrow, going to last through Wednesday at least. Northwesterly winds, gale warning in place for that, for the near coastal waters from Point Pinos to Point Piedras Blancas. We'll have wind over land as well, but no alerts in effect for that. Quick look at your temperature forecast tomorrow. Going to stay in the 50s in the Santa Cruz Mountains, down to 62 in Santa Cruz tomorrow, with around 60 in Felton and Scotts Valley. We'll be in the low 60s in Capitola over to Aptos, Watsonville tomorrow. Salinas in the low 60s. The Dale of Prunes, 62. Castroville has to be different, 59, and then mid 60s in Dora Northern Valleys. Over to the Monterey Peninsula, we'll see a high of 60 in Monterey and just kind of off the peninsula. I know a lot of people group Seaside and even Marina into the peninsula. I mean, but are you surrounded on 3 sides by water and Seaside? Not really. I mean, kind of there, I guess. 59 for you, 60 in Monterey and 61 in Carmel. Also on another bay altogether, Carmel Bay. Down south, we'll see mid 60s up and down the Salinas Valley. Ultimately, just slightly cool for this time of year. 7-day forecast does show that warm up, though. It'll take a few days to get there as the air mass does the switch over. So windy for the next couple of days, especially as we head through midweek and those winds go offshore. But look how fast those temperatures warm up once we get to Thursday and Friday. And then we'll get a bit more of a sea breeze, I think, this weekend, and may introduce some low clouds back into the forecast, a la summer style weather for us as we head through St. Paddy's Day. That's with a double D. I know, P-A-D-D. It's from St. Padraig. I actually had a friend growing up named Padraig. We just called him Paddy, you know. I guess he was Irish. His last name was Dennehy. So that counts, right? Inland areas, we'll see highs on average reaching the 70s Friday, Saturday. I've got an Irishman in my family, old great-grandpa Doherty. So I'm an 8th Irish, which is awesome because
That is pretty cool,
I
Dan.
guess. I mean, yeah.
All right, you're going to be having fun on Sunday.
Oh, well, yeah, probably. Probably just eating things, I suppose. That's what we usually do to celebrate. Just eat.
All right.
All right, that's it for me. Veronica, back to you.
Thank you, Dan.